What up, fam? It's so good to be back on the channel with deeper clarity, with more insight and perspective on what it is I want to provide, the transformation I want to facilitate, and what you can come to this space for. Of course, you know my tagline is how it all works, but I want to go in depth on that today.
Okay, people, let's talk strategy.
Quite literally, I want to share the components that make up this strategy. And the first piece of it is stewarding your story. Stewarding your story means going and doing the hard work to understand what makes up who you are, what makes you tick, what gives you your genius, but also what gives you your handicap. What is the cause of your limp, right? The things that you can use as a superpower and the things that kind of give you a handicap against others.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Because it's the totality of it that brings to bear everything that you are. Recognizing that they're all written into your story. Understanding your story doesn't just mean understanding the things that you have gone through, the things that you have experienced. Understanding your story means going back and doing the hard work of even talking to parents and grandparents and great-grandparents to really look and access those stories, to find the matriarch and the patriarch who can give you context of why we are the way we are, why we do the things that we do, why do we have this kind of sense of humor, why do we like this kind of food, why do we speak this way, why do we laugh at these things? It can be a wild ride, a crazy adventure, and I hope that's a way you will view it. Doing that work allows you to show up as your best self and allows you to know what's for you, what's not for you. Gives you clarity and insight on that, but also it gives you the ability to make on-ramps into your ecosystem so people can access your genius. Stewarding your story is a phrase that I use as a believer because I believe that God has written into our story everything that we need to be successful in fulfilling the purpose that He has placed in our lives. So that's the first piece, right? I believe that when you steward your story, though, when you steward it well, especially through content, there's a number of things that happen. You discover your purpose. I was on a coaching call. We were doing a brand statement for a member of my pilot group. And he initially was sharing with me, man, I want to go in this direction. I want to do this. I want to kind of do things a little bit differently than what I have been. I don't know if I want to stay in this particular lane anymore. And I said, man, let's just go through the process of coming up with this brand statement, which also requires us to go deep into his history, into his story, and pull out those inflection points, the things that punctuate his life, the things that make him who he is, so that people can access his genius. And when we were done with that process, when we were finished with that session, he said to me, throw out everything I said earlier. This is exactly what I am meant to do, what I'm purposed to do, what I'm uniquely qualified to do. In fact, I am unfairly advantaged to help people experience transformation in this way. That the level of clarity he received in that session, and I'm not even touting my own horn, it's because he was doing the work. He had all the information, he had all the tidbits, but when we began to write it all down, when we began to coalesce it all together into a brand statement, he began to see very clearly this was his lane. So when you steward your story with content, one of the benefits is that you discover purpose. The second thing that happens is that you begin to have impact and effect on those who come in contact with you. The thing that I have written down says you begin to change lives, right? So steward your story through content, right? Then you discover purpose, change lives. But this change lives thing, it is not for everyone. Some people want to make money, and I get that. And I have no problem making money either. But the truth is, for the purpose-driven creator, right? For the person who has a bigger why, and I want to be clear, the bigger why is necessary to stay consistent in this world. But for the person who recognizes, like, man, I want to serve yesterday's version of myself. I want to make sure that there's content out there for last year's version of me to search for, find, and get the answers that they're looking for. When you have a heart for service like that, when it comes to your content, you will invariably change lives because you will speak with authenticity. Especially if you're stewarding your own story, there's a certain tonality that it has that people will pick up on. You will speak the language of victory. You will speak the languages of one who has overcome. And the word says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. And the word of our testimony is our story. So as you steward the story, you will discover purpose. And your purpose is a deep why. It becomes a wellspring of life, right? That wells up into itself, right? It is that well that Jesus told the woman at the well, if you drink from this water, you'll never need to drink again. And that's what I mean when I say discover purpose. But then that next thing is you'll change lives. You'll change lives just by the way you show up. You'll give people permission to lean into their full selves just because you actually did the work to steward your story well. You'll be able to serve at a level and facilitate impact and transformation that you could only have dreamed of before, because that's how it all works. You'll be able to expand reach and multiply opportunities. I put these two together. Expand your reach and multiply opportunities. Expand your reach, right? I'm going this way, and then multiply your opportunities. This is what content does. And content that is aligned, content that is in purpose, on purpose, content that is authentic because it comes from your own story and you're stewarding it well, it expands your reach. People will, as they say, your vibe will attract your tribe.
Yes, they do say that.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. It will expand your reach because you have created content. You've created consistent content that is enabling people to tap into your genius. So it will expand your reach, but it will also, because it's expanding your reach, it'll multiply your opportunities. And for the person that'll say, how does this make money? Kirk, tell me how this makes money. That's how it makes money, because it multiplies your opportunities. I like to say it this way. If you want to set up a steady stream of referral-based opportunities, then create content. Well, that's what I mean. Referral-based opportunities. People will say, man, if you're looking for that, you need to go to this guy. If you're looking for that, you need to go to this girl. If that's what you really want to achieve, there's no other place to go except for to this guy right here, to this woman right here, to this resource right here, because you've been stewarding your story well, right? You've discovered your purpose. You've been changing lives. So there's a trail of testimonials, and it expands your reach, but it multiplies your opportunities. Opportunities will come knocking at your door when you steward your story well. When you have an A-list digital footprint, it will work for you even when you're asleep. It will enter rooms that you can't enter and make your presence known. Your name will be spoken before kings, and you'll ride upon the high places of life and feast on the inheritance of your father Abraham. These are terms that we know from the word of God, and this is why I say this is how it all works. Romans 8:28, for we know that in all things God works it together for the good of them who love him and are called according to his purpose. Steward your story with content. Discover your purpose. I want to make sure I get this right. Steward your story with content. Discover your purpose. Change lives. Expand reach and multiply your opportunities. Family, this is how it all works. And this is what this content and this channel and these platforms is going to be all about. Grace and peace. Hope to see you in the next one. Let me know in the comments section if you vibe with this, and I'm excited to see what God is going to do. Be blessed.